Oh, hey, Detective Greyson here. You know, I was just looking at one of my old case files here, and, I don't know. As long as I've been on the force, it still completely baffles me that when two completely mismatched characters meet up in a situation, it always ends up in a fight.
Godzilla vs. King Kong, vampires vs. werewolves, Batman vs. Predator. How is it that these kind of duets just can't get along?
It's only natural, I suppose. You get someone in someone else's turf, rivalry ensues. Hence this next case, Frankenstein versus the space monster.
We start off in space. Well, I'm assuming it's in space, considering we are looking at aliens here, right? So that's space, right? Well, it's certainly some sort of space.
What does that mean?
We're not quite certain, Princess.
Well, anyway, the alien spacecraft, commanded by the Martian princess, has just reached the Earth atmosphere. Upon arrival, they assume that a launched space shuttle is a hostile missile, in which they immediately destroy.
It stinks!
I guess this seems to be no concern to anyone on Earth, as it's business as usual.
How much longer before we reach the Space Center, Sergeant?
About 5 minutes, sir.
NASA holds a rather tiny press conference about their next shuttle launch, which is being manned by Colonel Frank Saunders.
I've been covering the space program for quite a long time, yet prior to the day I never even heard of you. How do you explain that?
I guess I'm the shy type.
Gentlemen, the Colonel wasn't kidding. He really is shy.
Oh, jeez. Thank God. But I was having a heart attack for a minute there.
Turns out, this astronaut is actually a robotic creation made by Dr. Steele, whose reasoning is, why risk an actual life when you can make a synthetic life to take the job instead?
Butterfingers! It's Operation!
I mean, it's not like the job economy is bad enough as it is.
We have here, for all practical purposes, a normal human being created out of normal parts, transplanted, except for his synthetic skin and the electronic sensory control system, of course.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aren't we forgetting a little complication here? Not only is this going against all the laws of God and nature, isn't there a little something that we should be taking into consideration here?
Well, anyhow, up goes a synthetic man into space. And, hey, wait a minute. Didn't we see the aliens blow up this spacecraft already?
Huh. Getting this strange feeling of deja vu.
Somehow, within that giant explosion, Frank manages to escape, landing safely off into some other distant area.
Pilot? They have pilots on the missiles?
Since the aliens realize that they didn't quite destroy a missile, but a spaceship, they decide to seek some cover to avoid being discovered. One of the aliens goes off to find Frank to destroy him, but just ends up making him look like Two-Face.
Nah, it doesn't have the same effect.
Better, stronger, faster.
Frank lumbers around a bit until he meets up with a couple in an automobile, whom immediately assume the worst and,
Wait. What the hell was that? So wait a minute. This guy's first reaction is to go up to Frank with a bomb. This is not one of Frank's best days.
It's time to start the party!
Frank makes quick work of him, but leaves the woman unharmed, probably because of all the damn screaming. Then heads on back to his little hidey hole near the beach. Back at the Martian spaceship, which kinda looks like the Epcot Center at Disney World, the aliens discuss their master plans.
So, what is the Martians' big plan, you may ask? Well,
To acquire breeding stock to repopulate our planet.
Mars needs women, angry red women. Mars needs
Yeah, since I guess the sparse population of aliens is practically male, they need women to, repopulate. Which puzzles me. I mean, why not the princess? She's not good enough for this sort of mission?
Between you and me, I think the princess is a little on the butch side, if you know what I mean.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Going back to business as usual, despite being an expendable synthetic being, the doctor and his assistant make a search for poor old Frank. They ultimately find a signal off in Puerto Rico, so it's time to do an emergency search and rescue. But, first, a vacation.
We'll walk in the rain if you really care to. We'll do everything that lovers do.
Well, it's not like anyone's in any immediate danger. Oh, yeah.
The lucky ones are dead.
The two finally find Frank, who of course needs some much-needed refurbishing. So while Dr. Steele attempts to fix him up a bit, he orders his assistant to go back and tell the captain of their finding.
Goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for that rather cryptic farewell there. It's only befitting that almost immediately she gets captured by the aliens. It's here where we finally meet...
Okay. Seems a little out of place.
Hey, George, I'm hungry, George. When are we gonna eat, George? Huh, George? When are we gonna eat?
Soon after, Dr. Steele and Frank manage to find the alien spacecraft. The good doctor of quick wit comes up with an ingenious plan.
Now look, I think they've got Karen prisoner on that spaceship. You've got to stay here and keep watch over things until I get help from General Bowers. You do that, Frank? All right. Good luck, Frank.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for help while I leave the dangerously unstable robot man to watch over the alien spaceship. I'm beginning to doubt the legitimacy of NASA funding.
To absolutely no one's surprise, Frank is ultimately brought onto the spacecraft, in which the aliens tend to keep him. However, once brought into the same room as the girl, she tries to wake him up so he can release her and the other girls being held captive. This, of course, works. However, it also releases the space monster, and the big battle ensues.
Alright everybody, place your bets. This is the battle we've all been waiting for. It's man-made machine versus alien beast in a life-to-death struggle, and I'm just kidding, Frank wins.
Yep, that's a big payoff. Yeah, the space monster doesn't really get that much screen time, huh? Once that's over with, the aliens try to escape with Frank inside. And not a good idea, seeing as Frank is so prone to explosions all the time. And so much for repopulation. Well, heck, let's get back to our vacation.
Well, there you have it. You know, it's funny. For all the resources that Earth has to offer, it's really been our dames that the aliens have been after. But you know what? You don't mess with our women. I'm Detective Greyson, and this case is closed.
That's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. Starfleet Creations.